Get started. So I'd like to say, first off, welcome everyone, and thank you for being here with us today with our monthly webinar, which is Black Women Revolt Against Domestic Violence. This is Crucial Conversations, and we really appreciate you all being here today. We have a very special guest. We have Dr. Gina Fromer from Glide Memorial. Some of you know her, some of you do not know her, and those of you who don't, you will get to know her. She is, I think I just heard an echo. She is the amazing new leader that has taken the helm at Glide Memorial Foundation, and she is doing a phenomenal job. For those of you who are local and native in San Francisco, she is a San Francisco native. She just came over to Glide from Children's Council, which is where I was blessed to have met her. She has done community work at the YMCA in San Francisco as well. And she is a grassroots leader and has always led from the front. No job too big, no job too small. And we are extremely grateful to have her here with us today to talk about the vision for Glide, where they're moving in the next few years under her helm. And then, of course, just to celebrate her as a Black woman here in San Francisco during Women's History Month, because she is making history at Glide. And so I'm going to turn it over to her without any further ado and get us started. Thank you for being with us today. You're on mute, I believe.
After years, 4 years, still don't have Zoom right. I mean, it's just all of us, right? Good afternoon, everyone. I'm speaking to you from my office here at Glide. Welcome to Black Women Revolt. I have the pleasure of knowing Dr. Tate for years, and I really appreciate everything she does, not only for the Black woman and the Black community, but for all the allies that work alongside her and us. You know, Glide is a very special place, and I've been here literally a click under 5 months. And so I am super excited. But, you know, Glide is an iconic organization in San Francisco, been here 60 years. And so we have a huge history, a lot of shoulders to stand on here as we move forward into the future, as we glide forward into the future. So I am a 6th generation San Franciscan. If we can get our slides up, that'd be great. And I was born and raised in the Bayview-Hunters community. My mom worked as a child care teacher at Sojourner Truth Child Care right on Cashmere for 36 years until she passed. She believed in community. I think I got the bug from her on how you love not only your people, but the people who come across, the families, the individuals. Everyone is trying to that composes that community to better our world. And so I'm just trying to be the change I want to see and be in this world. And so that's why I have embarked upon Glide. I was a client years ago coming here to get food for my 3 kids. I needed a safety net. I was between jobs. I remember getting on 3 buses from Bayview and coming here and getting a bag of some Thanksgiving dinner, you know, and I was able to provide a wonderful Thanksgiving for my kids 2 years in a row. And we got Christmas toys that year. And then I embarked on my first job at the YMCA, which, you know, led me into where I am today. And so I really appreciate Glide for what it does for families, for what it does at the intersection of, you know, that safety net and that safety zone that many women and men find themselves in, you know, whether you're on food stamps or whether you are, you know, getting cow fresh or whatever it is in that moment that you need it, being able to exit that and move on through my career, move on through my educational journey, and to land at Glide. It's like a full service moment coming back to this community. You know, Glide, we did a strategic plan a few years back, and, you know, we want to continue to be this radically inclusive, just and loving community mobilized to alleviate suffering, you know, and break the cycles of poverty and marginalization. I am 1 generation out of poverty, which meant my mother and my grandmother and all the generations before them lived in poverty, right? So how did that happen? Why did that happen? And that's a whole nother day, a whole nother story of how and what are those factors can get a lot of our families out of poverty. But the fact that I'm just one generation out, I am here with lived experience and be able to tell that story. And through the programs we offer at Glide. Next slide. You know, we have 3 doors that we consider on the Glide Foundation. And next slide. One of those doors is Glide Memorial Church. And we know we've had from Oprah to Mandela to, you know, recently the Lieutenant Governor, people coming through our church door. Many individuals, many families, people volunteer. They're curious. You know, everybody that I've met, they've said, yeah, I came to at least Glide Church one time. That is significant. And that's iconic for San Francisco to have an organization that is that at the heart of its city, right? Glide Memorial Church, you know, 9 a.m. in the morning on Sundays, 11 a.m. Stop by sometimes. So you can just see and get that spirit and feeling of what it means to be in a place where there's unconditional love and where we're radically inclusive. You know, everybody is welcome at Glide. So through our, you know, the Glide door, our programs door, which is all about comprehensive services, our Center for Social Justice, which is about policy change. Now we know if we're not changing policy, we're not doing nothing. We have to make sure we get in there and change these institutionalized racist systems, and I'm gonna say that have promulgated our cultures since time began, as far as I'm concerned. Our educational systems, the systems that support people during safety net. You know, why are people still in poverty? You know, why aren't we moving people out faster? Why is it just one out here and there? We need to really look at a comprehensive approach. And we partner with many, many, many entities, and not only in the Tenderloin, but across our city and state, to ensure that our programs are thriving and that they're meeting people right where they are. I take pride in making sure that whoever walks through that door, they feel comfortable, not ashamed. I remember standing in that food line with my 3 babies. My mother was with me. I had to scoot the kids over to her. I felt a little ashamed, like, who's going to see me in this line? But when I get up there, the warmth, the love, I didn't feel less than. There was a lot of dignity in how they served me what I needed for my family. And I went home feeling good. That has transcended till now, and how I want to make sure programs and services still have that Glide oomph, right? Because I tell people, I am Glide. You are Glide. We are Glide. And we need to make sure the programs that we support and serve our community are meeting them where they are. And we ensure that by advocating, educating others through our Center for Social Justice on what it means to be a parent in a school district, how to advocate for your own child, how to say, this is unacceptable, what's happening in this classroom or in this school. I don't feel safe here. Whatever that is for you as a parent, as an individual wanting to know what civic engagement means across our city, speaking up, running for office. We got more women in office across our state. I was just up there yesterday. So many women in the legislature right now. And, you know, women they vote differently. They vote stability. They vote for children. They vote for families. So they empower individuals through how they vote and how they look at policies, right? Childcare. But if a mom don't have childcare, she can't go to work, right? So universal childcare, subsidies that support women who are lower income so they can get back into the workforce or make a decision to go back to school like I did and get my PhD. It's whatever it is, wherever you are, we want you to be able to thrive. And at Glide, we're looking at it as one entity. We're using all of our doors to ensure that families and individuals, whether you're homeless, you're houseless, you're hungry, you have a place to go to find out more information about how you can be the change that you want to see in your family. Next slide. So our priorities, and these priorities, yes, over the past 5 months have blown up a little bit under my leadership, because I see them as a way to really expand and glide forward throughout our communities. One is our building is built in 1929. Any building built in 1929 needs to be upgraded. So we're going into a $100 million campaign in the next 6 months or so. We're doing a feasibility study right now, but we want Glide to be here for the next 60 years. And we want to make sure our building can sustain the next 100 years. So we're working on building modernization. We've gotten some money from a key legislature that wants to modernize our church a little bit to do the safety work. But we're really going to embark on, you're going to look at a campus a year from now and say, oh my God, look at Glide. It's beautiful, right? We want it to shine in San Francisco. When people do that tour, we want them to see the Glide glow, right? The Glide glow. Mobile integrated services. So we want to make sure all of our programs and services are integrated. So if you come in for one thing, you're being offered a host of other services, like our Women's Center. We're at the intersection of domestic violence, homelessness, childcare needs, food security, all those things intersect. So when you walk into our door, we're looking at all those things with you and trying to, check the list. How do we really work with these families, these women, to get them to where they want to be? Some are going to school right now. Some are being hired by Glide. We're working with Dr. Tate on a lot of workshops to really empower these women to be the change that they want to see in their own communities. Housing and homelessness, that's the flavor of the day. We need to make sure our people, we get housing. And we know we're up against city policies and, a lack of space and all these other things. And I think it's going to take all of us to be innovative and really think about how we can get people to treatment. We're offering not only harm reduction services, our health gamut for us is from sobriety to, if you need something to prevent HIV, you need something to prevent hepatitis C. We're there for that. And we're there to also help people get registered into Medi-Cal and all other things as well. So we're trying to be more of a hub for services as a social organization in San Francisco, which leads us into, a bigger vision of a mental health service treatment hub in our building. So people walk in, they can get mental health services right on the spot. Drop-in services with a counselor on site. We'll have hours for that. We'll do medical billing, which means there's more extensive case management. That's what we need to be for our community. That's what our community is asking us to be right now. And we know that's going to support women and families and children and domestic violence survivors. We really want to be and support them and meet them where they are. Health access is, again, what I've talked about, really combating the overdose epidemic. It's going to take us all agencies, a village in the Tenderloin to make this work. And we want to lead the way to make sure we have services available for people who come in the door, or if not, we're referring them and walking them to the service right across the street and making sure they get what they need from that service, right? And the last point, which we don't talk about a lot here at Glide, %30 of our employees have been incarcerated, and they are here and they're economic mobility. They have health care. They're working for Glide. And so we're placed to prevent anti-recidivism, and we want to do more of that work. We have a kitchen that's serving 600,000 meals a year. So that's people coming getting training, entry-level job. They can come get their training here and go work at all these hotels around us. We got 7, 8, 10 hotels all around us that have kitchens. So we can be that workforce development hub for individuals, not only coming out of incarceration, but young people who want to get into becoming chefs or understand how to run a kitchen, or, really, what does it mean to be community outreach workers? We want to create those kind of programs, which are very entry level, so we can get more people in. Next slide. I wanted to highlight a few programs that we're doing right now, and these definitely align around the work we've done with Dr. Tate. We just launched our Women's Center on March 8th. It was really amazing to see the people come out and support the work that we're doing. It's drop-in support groups, education, street outreach. We go out to the street, give out kits. We will go to your home. We're doing case management. We have community building events with women, so much more to come. And since we've opened, seriously, we've already seen 100 unduplicated women and housed 4 of those women so far. So we're on a path towards housing women, towards helping them. And a lot of them have been in DV situations. And so we are really supporting them and meeting them where they are. We have an amazing staff with lived experience, with who understand how to meet people where they are, how to go out into the streets and say, you know what, come on in. We're going to meet you right here. We're going to do everything we need to do right here. We got everything. We got a mobile van that's going to come and meet you right here. We'll see you next week, right? And there's so many other services that we want to provide, a health clinic, you know, a place where you can come and register for Medi-Cal right here, CalFresh, all in one spot. We're really excited about that work. Next slide. Men in Progress. What can I say? This is an amazing program. These are men who have been involved in domestic violence situations, and they want to heal. They want to understand what's driving this, their own trauma, right? And so we've also worked with Dr. Tate on this. We also have a year-long program that's free. Now, most of these programs cost almost $2,000. We're the only one in San Francisco that is free. And it really empowers these men to take responsibility. We took about 5 of these men with us on our journey to Alabama. We called it our pilgrimage. And how powerful was it for them to see their roots, and that trauma is not just today. Trauma is yesterday. This, what you feel and experience is in your, it might be coming from a DNA that's in there that's pulling forward with you. Process it, deal with it, let it out. And so we are really working with over 134 participants right now, just in 2023 alone. So this is a highly successful program. And we know that the family unit, whatever that is for a family, to have one person that can deal with their trauma, have tools in the toolbox, have places to go when they're feeling challenged and they feel triggered, is so important. It's so important. And we're educating on that. This transformation that needs to happen in these young men so they can be with their families and their children, because they want to be with their families, but they also have to get at the heart of what's triggering them to get in these DV situations alone. As you've seen on the news, I've seen in the past 2 weeks, 5 women that have been hurt in DV situations. It's been so tragic. I just saw one in the news yesterday. These kind of programs are so critical. Mental health support is critical. Places for women to go away from their abusers is so important. And so this is really what GLIDE is working to and through with some of the individuals that we're working with to heal. And we're all, we always say, Cecil Williams always said, we're all in recovery, right? Whether it's trauma in the past, present, or things you're thinking about in the future, we're all in recovery in some way. So help us heal and let love be at the center of that. This unconditional love that we have for our community is what GLIDE stands on. Next slide. And then health access. Man, we're seeing it all around GLIDE. Wound care, support so we're not spreading HIV, so the emergency rooms do not pack up again with HIV cases, overdose prevention, you know, the methadone distribution. We're just now getting ready to get into that, because if you're on fentanyl, the one thing you can that counters that, I don't know how to explain it, but to get off of fentanyl, you have to, methadone is an option. Naloxone is also an option. So we're working with the Department of Public Health, General Hospital, to become a place and space that people can actually come and get off fentanyl here and get the support they need to continue on. And that might be housing. That might be some kind of stabilization strategies that we have to do to support them. It might be connecting them to Health 360 or other organizations that can support them, and they might have kids and their families, right? To get the services and support they need so they can heal. The van access program we have. And the one thing we're adding to this, of course, the mental health support services, because health is mental health too. That needs to be here as well. Health is mental health and access, right? And so we're doing a lot of partnerships with other street teams and other things around the Tenderloin, but it's going to take a real comprehensive approach. You can see the numbers. We've distributed over 1,000 Narcan kits, COVID kits, the harm reduction supplies, almost over 500,000 of those gone out in this year alone, right? And this, if we hadn't done that, that 500,000 kits could turn out to 2 million people or 100,000 people in emergency rooms, numbers of HIV going back up. So there's the stabilization we try to get, and then people can move towards the programs, our sober support programs we have. And we're just starting our NA meeting actually tomorrow at noon here. So I don't know if it's referral only, but just know that we're hosting a NA meeting at noon at Glide. And, you know, it's anonymous, so you come right on in. They'll just go right upstairs where it's going to be. There'll be signage. So we know that health access is important. And if we're going to really help San Francisco be the place it needs to be for children, youth, and families, and we need to make sure that everybody has access to care, and even dental care. So we're looking at all these avenues and partnering like UCSF, San Francisco General Hospital. I have a young Black dentist who wants to have a van that goes around and once a month plops on the block and does dental services. I'm like, bring it on. We need these kind of services in the community, and not only in the Tenderloin. We're breaking down these walls of the Tenderloin, and we want to make sure that our mobile services are available outside of our walls, that we are going to be working with other communities to find out what their needs are, and so we can support them and meet them where they are and provide some of the gap services that are not available currently. Next slide. So I am so excited, you know, as a generational San Franciscan. I believe in this city. I had three Black boys in 2000, and my son's best friend at Thurgood Marshall High School was shot. And I knew that I needed to leave. I wanted to save my kids. So I was gentrified out because of the violence that was occurring, and I was not going to lose my boys. So I had to do what a mother would do. You find you do what's best for you. And I moved, and San Rafael was able to get a home over there, and I've been there, but I've always worked and given my time, treasure, and talent to programs here in San Francisco, because this is where my roots are. And I love this city. I love making sure that young, excited entrepreneurs or people who want to go into leadership roles have that opportunity to see people who look like me and Dr. Tate, and many of you on this call in organizations doing great work. I look like you, so you can be me. Yes, come on in that path and be the next CEO for Glide, because I'm paving the way for you to do that right now by being here and doing the great work, just like Dr. Tate is doing, and just like many of you are doing. Siobhan Hunter, Terry Kent in programs. Siobhan has been working at Patrol Hills when I was at the NAVE doing truancy work, or you know, after school program work and summer youth employment work. Siobhan was a young person there, and now she's still in her community giving back. We all have a little give back, and we all feel that unconditional love for our cities, for the city, for our communities, and for our people. And that's what is at the heart of Glide: radical inclusivity, unconditional love. And I am just truly honored to be bringing that to Glide and carrying on the legacy of Cecil and Jan, who did all this amazing work to pave the way for all the current policies that we have in this city and abroad. We've done a lot of national work and international work, and so we're going to continue to do that. Thank you for your time, and I will open it up to any questions you may have about Glide or me.
Feel free to either type in the chat box any questions, or you can unmute and ask directly.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Gina.
Good morning, Michael Bennett.
You know, I just came in, but when you start mentioning all the things with Cecil and everything, and I just want to share that I'm a brother that was lost in the Tenderloin as well in the 80s, late 80s, and I went through the Glide Facts on Crack program. Okay, and one of the things that Cecil taught me when I was out there struggling, not really knowing much as I know now about the mental health and how all that stuff plays in, being a veteran and dealing with all that stuff. One of the things he instilled in us, and we used to go to those circles about loving ourselves, right? And then forgiving others. And that was the start for me. And I've been clean ever since, you know? And so I'm so grateful that back then Cecil had his doors open. Glide had the doors open for folks to to come in and create a space for them where they can heal. And so I just wanted to share that with everybody on this line. Is like Glide was a place for me where I was able to heal. And now today I'm over 31 years clean and sober, and I still work in the community and being able to go to school and get some education under my belt. But just answering the call today, right? So I saw the flyer. This was a call, and I felt that I need to be here to see whatever I can do to continue the vision of Glide, and being on the front for and being radical about how we do things. And so I just wanted to share that right off the top.
Thank you, Michael. You and I go way back, and it's an honor for you to be on this call. And, you and I are talking about bringing that program back. And so you're definitely going to be key to that. And so we're working on that right now. So thank you for your comment.
Dr. Fromer, we have Dr. Carolyn Scott has her hand raised. Dr. Scott, if you can unmute and ask your question.
Hey, Dr. Scott. One of my sheroes.
Dr. Scott, let me see if we need to possibly help unmute. Or we can circle back to you. Did anyone else have a question or comment? I see some things in the chat box, but if anybody would like to say something directly, feel free to do so now.
Well, thank you, Dr. Gina. Oh, I'm sorry. Did someone raise their hand?
Go ahead. I was going to read from the chat box, but go right on ahead.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Dr. Gina, for that presentation and for all your great work and what you're doing at Glide. As one of the employees there, I'm really curious. I came a little late, so I don't know if you already said it, but what is one of the main reasons why you do this work at Glide, why you chose to take this position? And then in your experience since you've been there, what are some of the most crucial and rewarding things that you have experienced or seen?
I'm going to start with that one. The people, the people. Oh my gosh, we have the most diverse organization. I mean, I can walk. I'm a joke right now, but I said there are more Black men at Glide than it is in San Francisco. I love being able to work in a diverse environment and see my people in action and be here for them. And I think that excites me every day, and to be this for our community. And I came to Glide, it was sort of a God wink, honestly. And I lost my husband last July. We're married 25 years. And we had talked about this position before he passed. And then I went through the whole process. And it came across my desk again. And I just said, you know what? He told me to go for it, and I'm going to go for it. And I just felt like I had my blessing. And I came in sort of late to the party, but here I am. And I just felt like this is where I need to be right now. It is who I am, Glide, Freddie. And I am Glide. I've used the services. I grew up in poverty. I've had family members who have been on one side or the other side of the law, and I've had it all. I have lived experience. And so this is a place for me right now to be able to help others. As a servant leader, be able to help everybody that comes through our door. So that's why I'm here. And you're part of that as well.
Oh. Thank you.
I see Dr. Carolyn Scott, excuse me, wrote in there that she is having problems and can't unmute or open her camera, but she wanted to say hello and send her love.
Thank you. Hi, Dr. Scott. Love you. Absolutely.
And I see a couple of other things. I see Mary Glide has said, Glide is blessed to have you. We have Michelle Cezanne is saying, Mr. Bennett, thank you for sharing your story of strength and community. And then also I saw Adele from over at City College wrote she was sorry for your loss, and we are all certainly sorry for your loss as well.
Thank you.
I saw a couple of other, I see Bev has her hand raised and two other people. So I'm going to say if Bev can go, and then I will figure out the other two hands, still trying to read controls here. But Bev, go ahead.
Thanks, Pam. Dr. Fromer, so nice to be here in the Glide Zoom room with you. I'm Beverly Upton from the San Francisco Domestic Violence Consortium. You
Hi,
have
Beverly.
crossed paths in little
Mhm.
ways over the years. We're so glad you're here. I can see what a great advocate and leader you're going to be. We're so excited to have you. I loved Janice, and she was so good about bringing domestic violence to the pulpit, to the community, talking to everybody on all sides of the issue. And just, I can't wait to work with you in the future. So, happy spring, happy Women's History Month. I just
Yes.
really look forward to working with you. It's going to be a great future.
Thank
We're
you,
all lucky
Beverly.
to have you.
Thank you, Beverly. I know that there was a report that said a lot of the women that are actually homeless out on the street right now were
yes.
DV, are DV
Yep.
survivors. And they
Yes.
just, so we have a lot of work to do. And I want you to know that we're here in any way possible to support and partner to change these women's lives.
Yes,
So.
we are too. And I have to say, those of us that have been working with Glide have known this for years, right? That DV affects women's lives and
Absolutely.
they will leave home to protect their children. And so I look forward to working with you in the future. And I'll just say I've spent many Sundays in the pews at Glide, filling up my spiritual gas tank. So
All
thank
right.
you so much. I look forward to the future with you.
Thank you. We welcome everyone to our Sunday service at either 9 or 11. I'm actually singing the Sunday. They got me to sing and at 11 o'clock mass, a celebration this Sunday. So I might be the only time I do it. So if you want, we can get online or come on by. Trying to uplift the people. I did sing at a little Black church in Bayview-Hunters Point, Our Lady of Lourdes, in the choir for 20 years.
Yeah.
And till my husband passed. And so, yes, come on out and check us out.
It would be an honor to join you. Thanks.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Awesome. I was looking for the two hands that it said were present and I'm not finding them. So if someone has a question or wants to just make a comment, please feel free to do so now. And someone already took my question, which was why Glide and why now? So I think that's been answered. And Freddie has listed a couple of things. Mr. Martin has listed a couple of things in the chat box about coming out for Sunday service and a collaboration with the Center for Social Justice there at Glide as well.
Thanks, Freddie.
Yeah,
He's always working. I love it.
I love it too.
My final message to everyone is I am at Glide. If you think of anything, you can come on out. My doors are always open, and I really appreciate the time today. We have so much more work to do in the community, and I might be reaching out to you if you're whatever organization. We're also hiring. Check out our website. We're doing a lot of hiring right now. And so, yeah, it's a great place to be, I think, right now in this day and time. So come check us out.
I have a completely unscripted thought. With the passing of Prop A and money being available for housing in San Francisco, and knowing that there is a group of people from the Women's Housing Coalition that are working to try and bring additional housing into San Francisco to address the 80% of women that are homeless as a result of domestic violence in San Francisco. Does Glide have any plans on expanding into housing, or what is your vision for that? And I know it's early.
I'm gonna go with my vision, which a vision without a plan is dead. So let me start with the highest level vision. There are a lot of hotels right now that are available in San Francisco, and I don't think we're taking advantage of that. And a lot of these owners just want to get out, because it's like there's one right across from the Orpheum Theater on Market, like 400 rooms. It used to be an SRO during COVID, and I think the city wants it to go back to being a hotel, but that's an opportunity right there. On our block, we have CW House over our campus, CW House next door, which used to be a part of Glide. It somehow during something happened, but we're thinking about getting CW House back. And then right next to CW House up the street is Tilden Hotel. So my vision is that we could turn those 118 private rooms into mini houses for people. They have their own bathrooms, and create childcare downstairs, or treatment centers downstairs, multi-purpose. They have a kitchen. It's a lot of stuff that we can do at these spaces. So my goal is to create more of a campus for Glide and have housing on it. So women that's coming to our women's center, we can get housed, right? We can house them and keep them close to us and make sure they have what they need. Their kids grow up, go to college, whatever. They're here supporting us and maybe even working for Glide. So that's my vision, is to have a campus with housing on it connected to our building.
I love it. And it's important and needed. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
I see Mr. Martin, Freddie Martin has his hand raised. Please go ahead.
I just want to say I think that's amazing, what you just said. And I know that there were some people at Glide during COVID with the SIP Hotel Coalition, where we were, and I was on that coalition as well. We were very active in getting the hotels purchased. We wanted all of them to be purchased.
I know you probably right.
For exactly the reason you said, and something else that you just said. So I can definitely connect you with the people in those groups to talk about that, because they're still advocating for that. And what you said about having the 118 private rooms, and possibly it being women's housing. There is Paula Farmer, which I think is on this Zoom as well, has been working with some of the women's group for women's organizations in the city to promote and support the $30 million that is earmarked for women's housing, or women that are fleeing domestic violence or abuse.
Mhm.
So there's some work there. And then I believe that Lizzie Glide, when she started Glide, that was one of the things. I think the building we're in, and there's also one on Golden Gate that was earmarked as well for women, supporting women. Do you know a little bit more about that?
I don't, but I know Mary Glide's on, and I know her vision for supporting community has expanded for sure. But to be able to go back and house women who have experienced domestic violence in a safe place that's harnessed is going to take a true village to make this work. But can you imagine taking over Tilden and having that for that particular person, Beverly? So maybe we should talk and see how we can make this happen, because there is money out there, Freddie, and we're looking at all of that right now. It's actually something we're working on. So with the governor's office, with the city, I met with the mayor about it. She's like, what? Yep, that's what we want. So we're going to make it happen. My thing is, you put it in the universe, it happens.
I love that.
So
I think we're all getting pretty focused on housing, and that was where the question came from. I know at one point Black Women Revolt would like to open a domestic abuse shelter, but
wow.
you all are certainly more equipped in terms of, community connections and everything. So I'm so glad to hear that part of your vision.
That's a partnership, Dr. Tate. We got the partnership, because there's, there you go, right there.
Yeah.
So it's going to be more. It's a partnership that's going to make this work. And I think because of the services that have to ascend on these programs, so women are successful and they can get into permanent housing, get their Section 8, and go out and live their lives. We can be that for them immediately, in the interim, or for long term. So we, however that plays out, we need to make sure that we have a place and space for them. So that's my vision.
Thank you. Any more questions, or anybody just want to say congratulations and thanks for being here? I did want to read out, I think she wants me to read it. Dr. Carolyn Scott says she's volunteered for Glide going back into the late, I'm not going to say her year that she wrote down here, up to the current date, serving as supportive help for individuals, also serving with insurance coverage. We have attended services and served with the youth with a mission, serving Glide in your community. And so she says she's extremely excited for you to be in this new position. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Siobhan says, I'm grateful for this space for all of us. And Bev says, happy and honored to help in any way.
Good to see everybody.
And I
Yeah.
just wanted to add, thank you so much for speaking with us today. I know Glide offers a wealth of services. You touched on some of them. If we wanted to refer somebody to Glide, if someone was coming in themselves to Glide, what's the best advice you have for checking out what those hours are or where to find those programs so they can take that first step?
Yeah, everybody doesn't have access to internet. They can't go on and see the hours of operation. I would just say get to Glide. You know, when you walk through that door, we got you. Yeah, right in that moment. And whether it's, you know, if you need a meal or services or walk-in center, right, mental health services or supports, we're going to meet you where you are. We have a very friendly front welcome center that can do that. And so, and they can always reach out to me. Dr. Tate has our information. She knows Sandra in the Women's Center, Men in Progress program. You know, we are, I think everybody knows a little bit about Glide here now. So just get people to our doors if you can, and we'll take it from there. And if not, we will meet people where they are as well. We do, actually, Women's Center does workshops in some of the SROs, some of the hotels around the Tenderloin. We go do workshops in those settings too, because we know everybody that can't walk through the door. So we're doing outreach to make sure we can extend and expand our reach into the community. Thanks, Taylor.
Yeah.
And thanks to everybody.
I think we're done if no one has any additional questions, but I want to say this was a great conversation. We definitely appreciate you being here, and people don't often get to sit down and have an informal conversation with the CEO. And so I certainly appreciate the time, because I know you have gazillion other things that you can be doing and possibly should be doing. So thank you for spending the time with us and sharing the vision of Glide. And I also want to thank Mary Glide for being on here as well, because I know she's rather busy, and it was nice of her and a lot of your staff to come on today. So let's give Glide as a whole a hand. And again, thank you for being with us. This was great. I hope this will not be our last time. Thank you for sharing all of the wonderful work that you all are doing in community, and blessings upon blessings. And that is from Sylvia Sellinger. And so, yeah. The Women's Center, I see a note here. Women's Center is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And that is from the new program coordinator of the Women's Center, Ms. Terry Hendricks. And so congratulations on that. And thank you all for being here. And next month, we will be back the same time, same bat station, third Wednesday of the month, 12 noon to 1 p.m. Michelle says, great to be here with everyone. Special hello to my Alabama family. Yes, shout out to the Alabama pilgrimage crew. Several of y'all on here. Love y'all. Can't wait for dinner tomorrow. Glide is just a fabulous place. And so thank you for letting us be a part of it, and for all that you contribute back to the community. It is definitely appreciated and so needed here in San Francisco. And where's Glide located? I see that question. I think I just saw that. This box.
330 Ellis Street,
Yes.
right near, around the corner from Union Square. So
Yes.
come on down.
And service this Sunday, 11 a.m. Get to see Dr.
Yes.
Gina sing.
Oh.
We do usually end this with doing a group photo. It's kind of for our prosperity, and then also because we have a grant, and so we show them that we're actually working, and letting them know that we are actually in conversation with community. And so if you all don't mind at this time, if you can pop open your cameras, and if not, your name is showing. We don't want to mess anybody up if you aren't visually prepared or don't feel prepared for a photo, but we do take a picture. And so I'm going to take two, because we have two screens today. Thank y'all for being here. And I just did screen number 1, and I am on screen number 2. We submit these into our funders. We truly appreciate y'all being here. Thank you again, Dr. Gina. Thank you to the whole Glide family out there that's on, as well as all of our community partners. We love and appreciate you. We'll see you next month. Thank you. And
Bye-bye, everyone.
have a great day.
Bye.
Enjoy the rest of
You
your
as
life.
well.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, Jeanette, I will see you or need to actually talk to you. So I will give you a call in just a minute. And thank you for joining us, Nancy. Okay. Yay.
We're good to end the
That was
recording, and I had
wonderful.
the max participants at 44, and that was with people going in and out.
Okay, that is awesome.